Effective knowledge exchange has never been more important to UK universities. But what is knowledge exchange?
For me, knowledge exchange is really about sharing our information with anybody who sits outside of that traditional academic sector. So that might be decision makers, local business people, international businesses, schools, colleges, any other groups, informal members of the public that might be interested in the sort of thing we do.
So for me, knowledge exchange is using academic research in combination with practitioner experience. So it's a two-way street. We learn from each other. So while I've got the insight that I've got from all the research, the academic research I've done looking at the PhD and the postdoctoral research afterwards, what works in theory won't necessarily work in practice. So for me, it's really important to work with practitioners to be able to understand how and what can be implemented to increase impact on the ground. I'm able to add value to that with my academic research, but a lot of my academic research has been influenced by those practitioners' knowledge.
So actually many researchers work in areas where they do very applied research, but they don't understand how to apply their research. By working with an industry partner who are treating patients on a daily basis, we can fully understand how to exploit our research.
We are working with SMEs to help them innovate. The Flood Resilience Innovation Centre is one example where we're working with regional SMEs. It's funded by the European Structural Investment Fund, and we are using our expertise to help them innovate, to come up with new solutions to tackle flood resilience, which is really important in this region. Another example is the Aura Innovation Centre, where again we're working with regional SMEs to help them come up with solutions that will help tackle a changing climate and move towards a zero carbon economy.
Other examples, there's written outputs, there's consultancy work. I've consulted, for example, on chemistry for Microsoft in form of Minecraft. Their game now incorporates chemical elements to it. They asked me about the chemistry in there.
One of the really interesting projects that I'm working on at the moment is with a police force, and it's giving me the opportunity to learn a huge amount about risks to which police are exposed to on a daily basis. Psychosocial risk is our particular area of interest. So I'm really learning a huge amount about that at the same time as being able to do a piece of work that's going to deliver for them.
One of the key things that we have done is also, as well as working with the NHS, is worked with some various different pharmaceutical companies and healthcare companies. These include SMEs, small to medium companies, and also some of the bigger companies as well. And what that's allowed us to do is really see how some of our ideas integrate into the way the commercial strategies and the way things are being taken forward. I mean, what we really hope is that we disrupt some of these and we see some new ideas coming in and being adopted from a commercial and pharmaceutical perspective.
You may remember in 2018, the British Science Festival. That was hosted on campus and around the city. It was a fabulous example of knowledge exchange because it put our academics up in front of people, allowing them to share their knowledge with the audiences. But there was a whole range of debate and other forms of interaction, a huge amount of one-to-one, face-to-face contact between members of the public and our academics.
So I principally work in Knowledge Transfer Partnerships, KTPs. These are part industry sponsored, part government sponsored, and they arise because a company has a problem that they don't have the skills to solve, but a university, a collaborating university, has the skills through its staff. At the end of the project, the company has solved the problem. It has potentially increased its productivity, its profitability, and has actually helped in the development of an industrial solution for which it may have its own intellectual property. The university has gained by engaging with the business, applying its skill set resource to a particular industry, and has also helped upskill a graduate to actually deliver on a project, to become an industry leader in that particular problem.
The non-academic work can influence where academics need to be going next to be able to have the biggest impact on the ground. So it really does influence professionally as well as personally what I get out of Knowledge Exchange.
Not only are there a diverse number of organisations that we work with in Knowledge Exchange projects and programmes, but the timescales can be very diverse as well, from a small piece of contract research that lasts a few weeks to a long, decade-long collaboration that's dealing with some of the grand challenges that we face.
Knowledge exchange is core university business. It's why we do what we do. It can be informed by our research, but it can also be informed by our teaching and by our work with communities and external partners. Knowledge exchange is about using what the university does to make life better, to improve economies, to improve society, and to improve health and well-being.
So, in summary, knowledge exchange has 3 components. Firstly, is there a two-way exchange? Secondly, are ideas, research, expertise, or skills exchanged? Thirdly, does the exchange take place between the university and one or more non-academic partners? Sharing knowledge or ideas at lectures, workshops, or conferences with non-academic participants. Delivering employee training. Working on student projects, placements, and post-course placements. Participating in networks or standard-setting forums. Sitting on advisory boards and contributing to policy development. Public lectures, exhibitions, and performing arts. Licensing research outputs, patenting an idea, spinning out companies, forming or running consultancies. Joint research or publications with non-academic partners. Consultancy or providing informal advice. Involvement in research consortia, contract research or KTPs. Provision of specialist facilities, prototyping or testing. External secondments. It's all knowledge exchange. It's all happening at the University of Hull.